Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the American Tier 8 Premium Heavy Tank, the T77. Now this is a tank that you'll be able to earn for free in the level 100 of the new season pass that's come out. And yes, it's again, I don't know why we're earning the same tank again. Same as the Falcon T92. We earned this tank in the season pass literally a year ago when it first came out. So I don't understand why we're earning it again. Like, there's so many tanks they could pick from, especially tanks that don't really get played much, or most people don't own. They could have quite easily put them in the season pass and made it more interesting, but having two tanks, especially like the Falcon and the T77, that most people already have because they've earned them through earn ops, it just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, they could pick tanks like the MIL 1951, the T42, the KV4 KTTS, the 7501K, the M48A2, no, actually, I think that was given away at some point, wasn't it? I don't know. The TS5, for example. There's so many tanks, like the 59 pattern as well, that don't see air time or play time whatsoever, because most people haven't really bought them or gone for them. It's a good time that they could have put tanks that haven't been played or people don't have into the population, get them in the queue and see what they go statistically so they can buff them, make them a bit more attractive, etc, etc. Who knows? But it would have made the season pass a little bit more exciting as well, because, like I say, for most people, they go, well, I've already earned the T77. Cool. What's the point? Now, the Ultimate Pass is obviously an interesting one because it's got the Cobra, and you can buy the Cobra for like 4k gold, which is a nice investment. It's kind of a fun tank, and it's new and novel, right? But yeah, T77, T77 fact, it just doesn't make sense to me. It's just a silly thing for them to do. It's kind of just a lazy season pass for me, really. Except for the Cobra, it's just kind of lazy. But, hey, rant over. You can get the T77 for free again. And yes, you're going to see two replays of this tank in this video. And what's the T77 like? Well, most of you will know what the T77's like. It's basically the balanced version of the T54E2, the Sergeant Slaughter. Because it's got an autoloader that's very, very similar to it. In fact, it's got this 360 Alpha, 3-shot autoloader. But it does fire APCR standard instead of AP like that tank has. And I think it's actually slightly more accurate, but the gun is definitely far derpier. It actually has 120mm instead of 105mm like the Sergeant Slaughter. But the way I always look at this tank is it's basically the balanced version of the Sergeant Slaughter, because I think the Sergeant Slaughter is pretty OP, and this tank is just the tank that is not crazy to play. I think it's got a lot of weaknesses, but it's also pretty solid, right? You know, you get these clips in, it really does hurt people, and it can be fun if it hits the shots. Also, the mobility of the tank is really nice, and if you use the mobility to good advantage, you can get yourself into great positions to use this really good clip, which is also obviously another difference to the Sergeant Slaughter in the fact that the Sergeant Slaughter isn't the quickest in the universe, although it's still got decent better armor than this tank has anyway. So in terms of a crew on the T77, I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Trap Mechanics, Steady Aim, Snapshot, Run and Gun, and Off-Road Driving. Off-Road Driving just to make sure that this tank hits its top speed, and it really helps it out in that regard because the mobility is a strong point of the tank, and to help that out is exactly what you want to do. Gun performance as well, because it is an autoloader. You want to be able to hitting your shots with an autoloader, but also the gun is kind of derpy, so you want to make sure that your gun is as good as possible by running those gun perks if you can. In terms of equipment, I run Optics, Vert Stabs, and Powertrain. Again, Powertrain gives it that little bit extra top speed, but also boosts the engine power. So you can hit that 50 kilometers an hour top speed really nicely, and you can shift about, or is it 48 kilometers an hour? One of the two. You can get into that top speed really easily, and you can use this as like that mobile gun platform to get this autoloader out there. And yeah, I do enjoy the T77. Like I say, the only thing is for me, it does get overshadowed by the fact that the Sergeant Slaughter exists and that tank is nutty. So in this game, we're on El Haloof, and we've managed to get 3.2k damage so far with 753 assistance. And right here, we are making a mistake. We're making a mistake. We shouldn't have woke that Skoda up. We basically said, hi, we're here, look. And we've got nothing left to clip him with, which means he just turns around and looks at us. We should not have shot him there. We should have just reloaded and run off somewhere else after that terrible clip or terrible attempt to shoot the bat chat. And right now, he's like, lunch. And he's coming rushing in, and he's actually missed. But unfortunately, he's coming for the ram, and he ends up shutting us down with the ram. We lose our 170 hit points, but we do 318 to him in return, which is fine. 3 kills, the ace tanker. 1738 base XP, 3.8k damage with 753 assistance. Pretty nice game for the T77 in a decent matchup. Well, I say decent matchup, it's bottom tier matchup. But we did 3.8k damage, which is quite nice. I say the tank can stand up quite well if you just play it like, well, like any other autoloader really. Just play that surprise assassin role, where you try not to be the attention-seeking tank where people look at you and go, hey, a tank look to shoot. You try and get yourselves into a flanked position where you can get shots at people, dump your clip, and be able to get yourselves into a safe position to then go and reload. Which is what we did. We got, especially when we attacked and got round to them in the first place, we then, when we were reloading, went to a different section round the other corner for which we could actually get up behind them and dump the clip. We just made a bad choice in trying to shoot the back chat twice, which was terrible aiming. And then with one shell left, went and shot the back of a Skoda and went, hey, I'm here, look, I'm here to shoot. And he turned around and killed us. Bad mistake, but is what it is, and we paid for it with our lives. It's just the way it is at times, isn't it? Sometimes you make that decision and you go, like I did at the time when I shot the Skoda, I went, wait, what? Why did I do that? Oh, no. And then, yeah, death, right? So we're on the second game. And this time we're platooned up with Randy, and we are on Redshire. And I've come to this position here at F4, which is a position I like to take because you can get good views down the 7 line. You can shoot people that are camping on the ridges, and anyone that attacks the, say, E2 position, you can also go and get hull down and shoot them from there. We're bottom tier again, and we're going to see what we can do in this match. We're just being patient because, well, you don't want to be too aggressive too soon. Then this batch at 25T gets spotted up. It's like, well, okay, I'll dump my clip into this guy, but unfortunately we get 2 out of 3 in, which is something that happens a lot in the T77, to be fair. It tends to be one of those tanks where you do fire all 3 shots and only 2 of them will hit and pen. And it's kind of annoying in that way, but it is what it is. We took a hit from a position somewhere along the, I think it was like D7, C7, somewhere around there on that little ridge. We ended up getting shot in the turret, which is unfortunate, but luckily it wasn't for too much. It was for like 300, so it's fine. We're going to now move up with Randy here onto a different position to see what we can get from over here, because we've not got the numbers on this flank really. A lot of them got spotted at C4, and obviously there's the TD at G1, there's me and Randy, and then a TD and a medium behind us. So we do need to be a little bit careful, but it's kind of like, okay, I'm going to move forward, and I'm going to see if I can spot up that ridge again at A2. If I don't, then I'm going to move up into a different position to see if I can spot anything else. This Lynx comes charging in. It's like, Mr. Lynx, I am loaded, bro. So, I'm so sorry. We got 2 in, and unfortunately, he just gets away, so we can't get to finish him off. But he lost pretty much all of his hit points to do that, and he didn't pen us. So, trades, we'll take it. Trading king, right there. That's what we'll take. So yeah, we're up to 1469 damage. We are nearly we're reloading right now, and that's one thing obviously about the T77. It's a 33-second reload, which can feel a little bit long at times, but I say it's probably better than what the Sergeant Slaughter is, which is definitely very strong in that reload, where you just feel like you're non-stop firing. And now we're reloaded. So it's like, okay, I'm going to see if I can get a shot at anyone on the other side of this ridge. But we are detected, so I'm thinking there is... Well, earlier on, something shot us from over there, and there we go, we get a shot again. And I'm just looking like, okay, what shoot me? Ow, it hit me again. Annoying. We got hit, double tapped there. It's like, is that a Barask or something like that? That's what I'm thinking it possibly could be in the bushes towards that building. But as we're pulling back, we actually spot this Barracuda. And it's like, well, hello, Mr. Barracuda, you're in a bit of an awkward spot, aren't you? And once again, 3 shots fired, 2 hits. Now, obviously, the first shot, to be honest, wasn't the most well aimed in the universe. But, you know, we hit 2 out of 3 again. Really unfortunate. We're just being careful to try and not get shot in the bum. And then we also get hit by the Barracuda and trying to avoid that. Sad times, we're now a 1-shot, which makes this kind of awkward. We're up to 2.2k damage, which is decent. Now we're nearly reloading this clip. It's like, hey, that's a 268 version 5 in a really awkward spot for himself. So this is where this tank is useful, and where all autoloaders are great, right? That guy, we're unspotted, we get ourselves into a position where we can get a shot at him, and just like that, all 3 actually went in that time, and we finished him off, which is great. So that's a tier 10 out of the way. That's a tier 10 TD that is exceptionally painful to fight. out, which is great. Randy shuts down the projector 54 that was on the right as well, so that's more tanks that were on the right-hand side that could shoot us out of the game, which is great. Currently, we are winning 10-7, which is good, so we just need to make sure that we keep people alive and start the landslide, start wrecking their tanks and getting guns out of the game. So we're loaded again, and we're looking at it going, okay, I can't take a hit, so I cannot be as aggressive as I have been. But I want to eliminate some tanks. Like, I want to get rid of this bat chat because he's running over there, and that could be bad for us. But then we end up finding this QL, and this QL has moved into a position where he's kind of out in the open for us. And I'm being careful because obviously he could just RBRT us and it'd be gone. So we try and get a shot into his track and pen him, but unfortunately we missed the first shell. But before he realised what's happened, we managed to finish him off. And as you can see, I was kind of frustrated with the first shell because it was mostly aimed on his track and just unfortunately it missed. And it's the whole T77 thing of firing 3 shots, hitting 2 and penning 2. It's what happens with this gun, unfortunately. It's just a recurring theme. A recurring nightmare, as you might call it, to be honest. It can be really effective if it hits its shots. It's just sometimes it doesn't like to hit them, and it's really annoying for that. So now we're nearly loaded. We're getting some shots into this M5355. We get 2 into him, and we've got 1 shell left. And it's like, hello, Mr. Waffle. Just let me please just get my shot in. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And we get that final shell in the clip into that Waffle, and we penned all 3 again. Look at that magic. And we were oh my god, he got hit by Artie there for 1300. That's dirty. And in the blink of an eye, the Waffly 100 is gone. Yeah, he lasted a long time, didn't he? As soon as he got spotted, artillery went, lol, goodbye. And no one ever survives artillery. It's just the inevitable death that awaits us all, right? Death by artillery. It's a sad fact of tank life. And fortunately enough, we get a shot at the SU-14 too as well while we're loaded, which is great. So now we're going to move up on the ridgeline to see if we can get a shot at this Barracuda if he pokes out. There's also another heavy tank somewhere, should I say medium tank somewhere. So I'm just keeping in a position where I can possibly shoot them if they get spotted. Unfortunately, the batch at 25T, ends up getting shut down by the Gorilla 15 as our shells inbound, which is sad times. But Randy's on the way in for this Barracuda, so I'm like, you know what, instead of going down there, I'm just going to wait with this 1 shell I've got loaded and hope that this Barracuda actually overpeaks and gives us a shot, because that'd be nice. But unfortunately, the GW Tiger Pig ends up shutting down the Barracuda, so we don't get to finish it off. But it is what it is. We finished with the victory. We finished with 4 kills, 4.9k damage, 1200 assistance, ace tanker, the Pascucci's medal, great medal, and 2.1k base XP. A really nice game for the T77. As I say, another tank that we're going to be able to earn at level 100 for free on the season pass. And like I say, most people have already earned it, so they know what this tank's like. I just wish they'd been a bit more inventive with the tanks. It's what it is. So, as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.